Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando, Monday, October the 27th, 9:09 p.m. on a little sad episode, a little sad live stream, but it was changes were going to come either way. So if you're watching, thank you for your support. Obviously, I know that's in a little bit of a weird time. Also, thank you to everybody that watched the episode with Taylor with our 2025 fails. So thank you to Taylor as well if you're listening or watching. That was fun. And again, the news today were of the departure, announcing the departure of the club, announcing that Luiz Muzzi is no longer going to be employed by Orlando City, and he decided to part ways with the club. And obviously, joining in December of 2018, that's when the turnaround of the club literally started. I will say one of the most, if not the most important person in the equation when it came to Orlando City being somewhat respected in the league, and also the US Open Cup win of 2022, building this roster with, a lot of players that were low cost, high reward, being able to be one of the teams in the MLS or make Orlando City one of the teams in the MLS to better use the MLS draft system with pickups like Daryl Dike, Duncan McGuire, and so. Also building that bridge between the club, the first team, the second team, the youth academies, all in one. Everybody playing for Orlando. He's definitely been somebody that every time we've crossed paths, me and my journalistic duty, him as the head honcho, he's been nothing but super nice to me and super kind to me. Always had really kind words to say about the pod, and we'll have him here, I'm sure, soon as well. And from myself, I can only speak for me. I know that he's going to do even better things because he's that capable and he made such a lasting impact in the core of this club. So with me is John. We're going to be discussing all of that and more. Read all your comments. And John, how are you, my friend? How do you take this news of Luis Musi?
Good, man. I mean, it's sad, but it is, I think probably the right thing for him. It's very important here. I think what they say is that the conversations began several weeks ago and reflect a personal decision to pursue new professional opportunities. I think that's really important because the club is, I think, trying to say like this is not necessarily due to the fact that results in the playoffs. I mean, we know that he was, I don't want to say removed, that's not the right word, but he got moved into the senior advisor role earlier this year, and out of his position as being GM, and then Ricardo was put into that position full time. So maybe it's something to do with being a senior advisor, and he hasn't really, that role hasn't really clicked with him, and he wants to go be a GM somewhere else, maybe another MLS club, maybe in Europe, maybe South America. I don't know. But perhaps he just feels like his time, with the club has kind of come to an end, and this is the period where now is the time for him to go and move on. I mean, he's brought Ricardo up as kind of this, protege of his, this sort of, number two to be the successor, and now that's happened. So maybe this is just him kind of feeling like now it's the natural time for him to move on and go do something else.
Yeah, 100%. And, uh, and I'm saying this per sources. Um, Obviously, him stepping down from his senior advisor role with the Wolves, it is a personal decision to pursue new professional opportunities. He's been in talks already weeks ago of this decision per sources. this is not tied to the playoff exit.
Yeah.
So if you hear or listen to anybody else that talks about Orlando City just saying that it's tied to the playoff exit,
This is
they're
not like
locked.
chopping heads. Like Luis Muzzi's
Yeah,
head was not on the
yeah.
line here, I think,
No,
right?
no,
Like, I
it's
don't
not
think that's
tied
the
to.
scenario.
Right.
No.
So he's been focused on ownership level ventures like the multi club
Yeah.
models
Hmm.
since his April promotion. And he really hasn't influenced any major sporting decisions this year at all. It's been all Ricardo. So obviously, you know, he's closing the chapter after again being one of the founding father of Orlando City, technically, when it came to soccer culture. And this is a culture that's going to endure his stay with the club. And again, I'm sure he's considering other options. And I know talking to other colleagues today about this situation, there are sporting director jobs roles opening up. There's one in New York City FC, post David Lee era. That you never know. He may be eyeing out, maybe eyeing on that. Maybe he's eyeing other candidacies. Maybe, like John said, it could be abroad, but definitely his track record speaks for himself. And I think John said it. Rebuilding academies, rebuilding brands, winning trophies, and very detrimental, smart transfers with low budgets. He's going to be a hot commodity in the MLS. I mean,
Yeah.
brands like
I think DC United, I'm
DC
sure, like
United.
that's I know it's like, hey, like several things. One, he knows MLS really well, right? And that's something that's kind of invaluable. And there's only so many GMs that have that level of experience in MLS. So I think definitely you know, that's and also he knows how to get a team out of the dirt and make them relevant. So yeah, like a team like DC right now, 100% is where I could see him going.
His leadership style, grabbing somebody under his wing, molding them to take over his job. This is Ricardo Moreira right there. Having that person go into and educate on how the MLS is run, working side by side with the operations side, with the sporting side, like Oscar for many years. The success of the Dallas FC Academy, bringing those credentials into Orlando. And again, this is one of the reasons why, at least to me, I can only speak for me. And again, it's opinions. I've always felt strongly that even though this model it's gonna take a little bit to maybe fully develop, because you're not opening the wallet fully, but you're definitely making lasting moves for the future and investing in youth. That takes usually, I would say, over a decade sometimes. Okay. The egg doesn't hatch in a day, right? So we are now on that path. Now, even if he stepped down, I think he definitely left us a super lasting legacy. And I think you're going to put his his words right here, John. You want to read them?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite long, so I don't know if we want to kind of read it all, but I'll read the opening kind of paragraph here. The show must go on. Um, Closing cycles is natural part of life, and today I close another one in my professional journey. After 7 seasons at Orlando City, I leave the club and the Wilf Group with a sense of accomplishment and deep gratitude. And then kind of his sort of closing statements. He talks a lot about what his time here and different players and things. And then sort of at the end, he says, more than a legacy, what I carry with me is a gratitude. I'm deeply thankful for the opportunity I was given in 2018 by Flavio and Alex, and for the trust and the support shown by the Wilf family and the board since they took over the franchise. My heartfelt thanks go to all the staff, coaches, and players, everyone who walked this incredible journey alongside me. And above all, thank you to the fans for making my time here so special. From the most diehard Ruckus and ILF fan, I will never forget that tifo, to the everyday
I
casual
remember that too.
person who follows the club. Your support through the thick and thin meant the world to me, and I will always carry that within. cycles come to an end, and we need to take this with us to the next lessons that allow even greater heights to be reached in the next one. And now that new cycle begins. So it's a really nice, letter he kind of wrote here, and the really nice pictures. And the picture of the tifo is up here with El Muzzi, El Papi, El Nani, from all those years ago. I actually went back, Luis, and I found, here you go. This is his opening press release from Tuesday, December 18th, 2018.
Look at that. That's a historic day right there.
So this is the very fresh-faced young Luiz Muzzi here, named the executive VP of soccer operations. And yeah, I mean, of course, this was under Leitao and, that ownership, and things changed. So much changed then. I mean, there's an article here on ESPN talking about our team at the time, and the takeover from Nikki Budalic. I forgot that was who was in charge before, and the likes of Sasha Kleshian and Justin Miram and Ori Russell. And so, like, the team, and James O'Connor was there, and Jason Christ and all
Yoshi
of that.
Atune.
Like the Yoshi, yeah, right. Like I think there was a lot of bad that he had to fix, right? Not only the roster, the staff, the
culture,
academy,
man.
the whole thing. And so much of that comes from this man at the top, who is leading the charge, who is the general of the whole soccer operations thing. And now it's gotten bigger and wider, and I'm sure he's been a part of helping Haley set up all of the things that they've done there, and been an advisor on that side as well to everything that the Pride has done. But now he leaves with this legacy of, really an academy and a foundation and a squad and a U.S. Open Cup, right? Our first ever major trophy was won with a team that he put together. So I think he's got to go down as one of our most successful GMs, definitely our most successful GM in the Orlando City MLS history, for sure. I mean, USL is a different thing.
Yeah.
But MLS, he is without a doubt has been our best GM, and actually put together a team that could compete instead of a team that really, could not, like we had for the first really 3 or 4 years of MLS before he arrived.
100%. I mean, pros outweigh the cons. He's the architect again of Orlando City's rise, so definitely the long-term vision doesn't take a year or 2 or even 5 years, I'll say, to pan things out. We started seeing our really good first starting 11 player like Alex Freeman brewing out of the academy. We have more to come, and it's only one, and he's gone. And I think he's leaving a lasting legacy now with Ricardo. And you have to understand also, Ricardo and Oscar, I believe they're up. Their contract ends next year as well. So, we could be also poised for, I don't know, a major shakeup again, starting next year as well. But again, their legacies will live forever. Like this picture right here. Tremendous, man. I never thought Orlando City, to me, to be honest with you, I never thought I was gonna, live to witness, a cup, for Orlando City. And they delivered 2022, man. So amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like I said, that memory for me of that cup is going to last forever. And I, always thank everybody who was involved in that team. And of course, he was the one that put it all together. It's going to be interesting to see, how, what happens with Ricardo. I mean, we're assuming he's going to stay here and remain. I don't think, like we said before, this is not a situation where the Wilfs has said, okay, Muzzi, we're blaming you for the season and you got to go. This is a personal decision where he's leaving. So, I don't think there's heat on Ricardo. I think the question is, around Oscar, it's a different scenario. Ricardo is the one who's going to make the decision on Oscar's tenure, and he's going to be discussing that with the Wilfs most likely. I'm sure Luiz Muzzi would be part of those conversations if he had not, decided that he wanted to leave the club as well. So now it's really, there's no one in between, right? I mean, not that I don't think there was anyway. Muzzi's job was kind of a side position to advise them on other stuff since April, but really now there's that safety blanket, that cushion of your mentor is gone. Ricardo is going to be there, being the guy. It's really all on him now and his leadership and where he wants to take us. And this is a very pivotal time we find ourselves here at the club. What's going to happen this offseason? We've already seen, Luis, today. The MLS firings are happening. I mean, Sandro Schwartz has gone from New York Red Bulls, of course, who was, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals just like we were last year against them, and they've already moved on from their coach. The other one happened with Colorado, who are moving on from Chris Armas. So another coach in MLS has moved on. There was another thing that was very interesting today. Talk of Tata Martino potentially going back to Atlanta. Apparently, he is on the top of their radar to get a hold of.
Wow.
Yes. So as we get here,
and they'll take him back. By the way,
yeah, they'll will
take him back.
Apparently, he's the front runner, and that could happen. And they've already brought back a lot of that team. Maybe they'll go get maybe they'll go get Martinez back as well. I saw some funny people saying
Joseph Martinez.
No, now go get Martinez, and they're just going to rebuild the team from whenever it was 2018 or whatever when they won. Luis, something I put together a while back with and I actually showed Paula this. We did it on the pod where you weren't here. Was I did a tier maker for all of the signings that, like, I don't think I got all of them. I think some 2018 are not here, but most of the signings under the Luiz Muzzi era are here on the tier maker. And we kind of sorted them into different categories.
Yeah, we can do
that. We could do that today with you. I think that would be a bit of fun.
Sure.
It won't take us too long. So, like, I'll let you kind of lead. I already gave my opinion. So Antonio Carlos is the first one. There's a name.
Okay. Can
We've
people
got
see
club
it?
legend, top class player.
Do you think you can make it a little bigger? Can you make it a little bigger?
Let's go bigger. There we go.
There you go. Okay. So Antonio Carlos first.
Yep. And we can change some of these categories around if we want. I think we might go simpler. I'm going to go with this. We'll go with this. We'll go S tier. We'll go A tier. We'll do it classic style. B, C, D, and F. How about that?
Okay.
And then that way, it's a little easier for everybody who's listening along. All right. Antonio Carlos, A, B, D, C.
I think it's an A. He won the A? Yeah, he won the US Open Cup.
I like that. Alex Freeman. I mean,
definitely
he's an Academy product. So this is a Muzzi. He talks about him in that post.
Yeah, he'll be an S.
He's S. I like
100%.
that. Adam Grinwis.
F. He can go sell hot dogs. Yeah. If you ask me,
he was like a club. He was like a fan, cult guy that people liked him, even though
he can join LPL third.
Yeah, I should do a Forever the Line with Adam Grinwis. I'll put him on the list. Adrian Marin. Here's a recent one.
Based on he's really green.
This could be a Ricardo signing technically.
Right now, I'll put D.
D.
Right now.
Okay, we'll put
right
D.
now D.
Andres Pereira.
Bro, that guy. He had. I'll put a D as well. New
York, right?
No, I'll put a D. I'll put a D because, yeah,
because he didn't put the effort in.
Yeah,
I think like this is better though.
Yeah.
All right, Alexandre Pato. Remember that sweet Pato deal we had? That
B.
was like B. I think for the deal, it should be S tier
Eh,
because we had Pato on like
for the deal. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
because
okay. You
we're
can put him on
rating
S. You
Muzzi
can put
here.
him.
We're
You can
rating
put
like
him on
how good a
S.
signing it was,
Okay, you
right?
can put him
So
on S. You can
I
put him
think
on.
it's S tier signing for
Yeah, for the
the
deal. Yeah, for
deal.
the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abdi Salim. I mean, some of these rookie drafts.
Eh,
Remember how good these guys are at drafting.
uh,
Abdi Salim was not one of them, but he was okay. A
yeah,
D tier,
yeah,
F
D
tier,
two.
D
Yeah,
tier.
D two.
Cesar Arujo,
Definitely an A.
A. Okay. Brandon Austin. Remember
Is that the
goalkeeper
Tottenham
on
guy?
loan? Yeah, goalkeeper on loan
F,
for
get
Tottenham
out of here.
for
Get
6 months. Get out of here. F.
Get out of here.
Derek Dodson.
F,
Do you
get out of here.
remember F
Nobody knows
tier?
who he is.
David Brecalo,
I will say right now, based on his performance, I'll say an A.
an A. Okay. Daryl DK. I mean, they
An
drafted him.
S.
S tier.
Yeah, he made an immediate impact right from the get go.
Better than Alex Freeman. I mean, it's hard to say. One
Not
they
best,
found, one
better
they
better than
brought
Pato.
through.
Yes, better than
Technically, they
Pato.
wouldn't have found Alex Freeman too because they got him from the Miami Academy. So,
yeah,
Dagger Dan Thralson,
that's an A.
an A. Okay. Duncan McGuire.
I will say for the deal and how they scouted him, I'll say probably.
An
I don't
A
know.
somewhere
What do you
or
think?
S?
An
I think
A?
A.
A, yeah.
I think he's
You
up
can put him
here.
better than, yeah.
Yeah. We'll move around like this.
Yeah.
Urchin Kara.
I'll put a C.
A C. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Edward Atuesta. Where you want to put him?
I mean, look, if Wilder would have been healthy, we would have been talking about a different Edward Atuesta today.
But they signed him because Wilder wasn't,
Yeah, but he's not a D mid though.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll put a C. No, actually, yeah, let's do a B. Let's do a B. B. At least for me. I don't know. What do you feel?
Yeah, I think a B is fair. I think that's about right.
Emmanuel Mas. He should have stayed in. I feel like he should have stayed in the club. He was doing really good. He went into this run, but now I'll say F.
F, yeah. I'll put him above Derek Dodson and Brandon Austin, to be fair. All right, Facu Torres.
S 100%.
S tier? Okay.
Not only that, the price that we got Facu Torres and the return for the club, that's Muzzi right there.
Better than Alex Freeman? Like in terms of the signing,
well,
it's different.
It's different, but the impact Facu had, he was the visionary.
I feel like we did well to sign him. Like a lot of teams wanted to get him in, and we managed to make it happen.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
big on Facu. Felipe
a
Martin.
lot of big. He can go and do some real estate. I'll say D. I'll say C. C because he was.
I feel like Andres Pereira is better than like Felipe Martins was.
Yeah, you think Andres Pereira was better than?
I think he should be up there. We'll put him at the
bottom.
There you
go. Okay, fate. That's fair. That's fair.
Gaston Gonzalez. Now this one.
Oh, that's an F.
It's an F, but like it's not really 100% their fault. I mean,
yeah,
he got injured like right after they signed him, and they played him in a game. So, Heine Gilking Bruces.
Bro, that's a major F. That's a major F. That's a major F because listen what happened. You want to hear what happened to this guy?
What happened?
He went to San Diego, bro.
Yeah, they sent him back to.
He
loaned him back to like Norway or something.
Bro, he didn't like spicy food. He bolted.
Yeah, it's hot in San Diego. Ivan Angulo.
I'll say it's been an A signing.
An A signing, okay. I'll put him in front of Daggy. Better or worse than Antonio Carlos or David Brecalo?
No, I think worst.
Here?
Worst.
Okay.
I think Antonio was.
Jeron Gerbet. I mean, what do you think? Draft?
I'll say B.
B tier draft. Joey Desart.
F. He dated Courtney. The best thing he did was dating Courtney Peterson.
Giorgio Krzyzewski.
Giorgio Kochevsky, man, he had a lot of ceiling, but I mean, he just didn't see eye to eye. I'll say that's another F in my opinion.
Okay. Jack Lynn.
I mean, look, a lot of heart,
They did draft him.
but bro, that dude can in the MLS. I don't know.
We'll put him in D because he
Put
did
him in
have
the
he was OCB Golden Boot, so don't forget that. Jake Mulroney.
I'll put him on a. I'll put him on a.
D
You
or
want
an
to
F?
put F. I know you want to put F, but I mean,
He
he
was
came
not
in
good.
and he was not good.
I'll put him behind Jacqueline. Junior
Yeah.
Urso, the Bear.
I will say an A signing for sure.
An A signing. Okay, I like that. I'll put him above Antonio Carlos, I think.
Yeah.
Here's one. El Burro. Luis
El
Muriel.
burro. El burro.
What do you go for, Luis Muriel?
Look, think about it. Nine goals, 7 assists.
Yeah.
If Muriel would have gone and been the Peruvian league right now, Peruvian people will be happy. I will rate as a D signing because he just didn't deliver the expectations.
He's done something, but he was the DP, so it's just
he didn't deliver the expectations.
Luca Petrasso?
I'll say C, maybe. C.
Yeah, he did a job.
Yeah.
Martino Ojeda.
A, 100%.
CSSS above Bakutaras? I think so,
I think
right?
based on numbers, you know.
Yeah. Marco Pasalic, I think he goes.
It was an S.
I think he goes up here right behind Alex Freeman or next to him.
100%. Yeah.
Mauricio Pereira.
S signing.
Yeah.
Super important. Yeah, super important for the club.
He was a big player for us. He was that guy who ran the team. Nico Ladero.
Oh man, for what he gave, I think a B signing will be good.
Yep. Nicolas Goacchini.
He can go and sell some hot dogs right there. And, you know, he's definitely
a D.
Yeah, D because there's no space in F.
We can make F bigger if we need to. Nico Rodriguez. I feel like F is just guys that didn't really play. You know, I think we should change it to like.
Well, those are duds, bro. Those are duds. Some of them are duds.
But they were like draftees that we never really were gonna. A lot of these guys, you know, or they're loanies or they're so low down the totem pole. Apart from like Gaston Gonzalez and a few others, most of these were just filler players that we didn't have much hope for. I think.
Now, not all are Muzzi signings. Some of them are Ricardo signings too.
Some of them, right. Like that's it's hard to know who was which. And like I said, there's probably some 2018s. Like Jansen isn't in this list,
100%.
but I think Jansen is one of his. So there might be a few in here that I'm missing. Nico Rodriguez. So
far, for what we've seen, he's C right now.
C tier.
At least for me, he's a C right now.
Yeah,
with a potential.
I'm gonna put him above Luca Petrasso at least. I think that's fair.
With a potential to become a B and possibly an A.
We'll see. If we were doing this in a few years, maybe he's moved up. Pedro Galese. S tier. Yeah, I think he's
100%
been one of our best keepers. I'll put him up here.
And for cheap.
Yeah,
when he first came.
Robinho. Remember Robinho?
He can go and.
C tier, he did a job. He scored some goals. D tier, I think it's not fair to put Luis Muriel behind, you know, Robinho. Ramiro Enrique.
A signing.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's true. I'm gonna put him up here next to Cesar and Duncan.
Yeah.
Rafa Santos.
B signing.
B? I mean, he you know, there was moments of Rafa being good. There was
when he was inspired.
Actually, I'm going to put him in the top of C. I think that's where he belongs,
fair.
Right?
That's
he's
fair.
A C player.
That's fair. Yeah.
Rodri Schlegel, I think,
to me, is
a B. A B guy. Would you be?
He's a B guy
or an A?
I think for what he means to the club, I think he'll be an A.
Okay.
I think if you give the fans pick between Nico Lodero and Rodri Schlegel, people are going to be more drawn to pick Rodri Schlegel of the impact he's had in the club.
Yeah. Shaq Mohammed.
with all due
A
respect.
draft C who's
Like
been in
you could do
good
a C,
servant
it's
to
fine.
OCB.
C,
You
C
know,
is fine.
he's an
C.
OCB. Sylvester Vanderwater.
That's a dud. That's
That
a that's
he's
an
probably
F,
going to
bro.
be behind Gilking
Yeah.
Brutus
That,
because he played and then was so bad he had to go.
all I'm saying is his left foot was not his weapon.
It was that. Remember the beginning of the year, people said the Pasalic was going to be like him. Wild.
Yeah, I know,
Tyrese
right?
Tyrese Spicer. I mean, again, probably more of
Well,
a Ricardo signing, but
that's a Ricardo signing, but I will say he is right now a B
a
based on
B.
the current numbers with the potential
Yep.
to be an A down the road if he
Okay.
continues that path.
As a signing, yeah, I think that's about right. Let's say Wilder. I
I'll
mean,
say
A.
Wilder's been a yeah, I'll say an A. Yeah.
Let's put him up
Probably
here at the top of A. I think we should bring Pato down a bit
mhm.
because he wasn't that great. Let's be
I'll
honest.
probably put
You want to move anybody
uh
up or down?
I would say Antonio Carlos. Wasn't he our captain? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will put Antonio Carlos up at S. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Still in Houston, he's back. Yatara Sakata is the last one.
Bro, I feel so bad for the kid. He had so much potential. I think I'll put him on a C. Well, we could put him on B.
Yeah,
I
and a
think
B. I don't want to judge him too hard yet.
yeah.
Let's say.
So
All right. I mean, there's obviously some players that might not be, like we said, Muzzi signings or Ricardo's, or there might be some missing here from early 2018 when they first were there, and kind of some of the players he inherited. But this was, a good example, I think, of how many. I mean, look at that S tier. Martin Ojeda, Facu
look at
Torres,
that.
Pedro Galese, Marco Pasalic, Mauricio Pereira,
What I'm
Antonio Carlos,
saying.
Wilder Cartagena, Duncan McGuire, Ramiro Enrique,
And with a
Cesar
low budget,
Rujo,
with a
David
low budget,
Brecalo.
John.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of those, really only Martin Ojeda, Facu, Pasalic are spending real money on. A lot of those are guys we got on a free or like a very cheap deal, or we found, or they're from the draft, or and even if you're in your B signings, look at Jerron Gerbet that they got most
Yeah.
recently. They have the guy had a great eye for talent in the drafts. I think there's no
100%.
argument to say that
100%.
him and Ricardo, they knocked out of the park with DK, they knocked out of the park with Duncan. Spicer they saw in the draft and then didn't manage to get him until a year later, but they knew how good he was, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it was definitely a guy who knew what he was doing, used all of the assets and facilities that we could to be able to put a team out there, and brought in some really memorable signings.
Yeah.
And guys like Facu led us to an Open Cup win under Luis's tenure. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of look back there of all the players, quote unquote, that were, under that he made in his era, as we now, move into a new era here with Ricardo leading the way.
Muzzi oversaw the acquisition of high impact players that changed Orlando's history, like Pedro Galese. Since 2019, Facu Torres traded very profitably in 2024, and then obviously the all his mojo and his experience he gave also to Ricardo, and to bring players like, whether you like it or not, Luis Muriel for the name recognition, Marco Pasalic, Ivan Angulo, who combined a lot of goals for Orlando City. And I believe the way he scouted these players were like data driven scouting, also by representing the club in like a big club, you know what I mean, not necessarily like an MLS club, like a big brand, so with a lot of international poise and partnerships. And that youth integration has been huge, and helping the academy produce talents, like Alex Freeman, like the Guskies, the Taifis. I think the pipeline is becoming bigger. I want to give another name too that is killing it for the national team under 17 in Peru. Segura, he plays for Orlando City Academy as well. He's been killing it. People in Peru are like, oh my god, this is the level of the MLS next. That's like, well,
Yeah. I
well,
mean, of
like
course, we won the G8 Cup this year with the U18s because of all
yeah,
that hard work put in the academy is now starting to pay off with trophies at that level.
yeah. So I mean, he fostered him and Moreira foster a winning culture, and to get that culture, I mean, he came in into a disarrayed club, a club that had no direction, unfortunately, and to install a winning culture, to install for the budget that the team had, it doesn't. It takes a little bit of time. I mean, I understand fans are desperate to wins and things like that, but aside of this dud of a season that we just had, obviously, and everybody is has a the utmost respect for being upset, obviously, it's been very positive on the up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
mean, we've been
so I
having steady growth, for sure.
steady growth, yeah. So
Yeah, and that's
so
the thing is he really brought us out of the bottom of the league and made us relevant. And then, his partnership with Oscar, they worked together year on year and really hoped that eventually we'd have that one year where it all worked out and we were able to lift the cup, but it just hasn't been able to happen with them with MLS Cup. And they were that partnership back in Dallas, and then maybe now that Luis Muzzi's moving on, maybe this is a sign, Luis. I'm not gonna speculate too much, but
well,
it
I
could
have
be a
news.
case. Oh yeah,
Let's do some comments though before I go to that. Guia Carlos,
please.
that was not the LM I was expecting would leave. Victor Rosa 985. All of that is great and all,
I
but
like
all we
that.
got was an open cup and losing home record. So now we're gonna put down. I mean, I agree. I mean, again,
We did get an Open Cup though. That was a major
I
trophy.
agree.
So I don't think we should
I mean,
we
yeah, I agree with
should
your
diminish
comment,
that. There's no MLS Cup,
but
yes, but
we have to understand. I mean, we completely. I mean, this is the way I see it. Again, I love his comment, and thank you so much for that.
no, you're right.
I I I, I see it a little different. I mean, I'm a Central Floridian, and I've always seen Shaq thriving in the Lakers, and for 150K that the Magic didn't want to pay him, he left to LA because he they gave him $300,000 more. I've seen big stars thriving in other clubs and not in Orlando. So when in soccer, I feel like Rome is not built in a day. Now we are definitely onto something, and yes, fans expect greatness and all of that. But I think we're in a good spot. In my opinion, I think we there's a possibility with the right changes, which I'm going to be talking about in just a few minutes. I think the club is going to soar, and I think Musi left a really lasting legacy. That, and not only that, the processes behind the scenes that Moreira already knows what it takes. Moreira could also bring somebody under his wing, just like Musi brought him under his wing, and it could be a good chain of events. The good thing now, Victor, that I'm happy is that Orlando has a culture. Before, not to say in the Flavio era, you would live off the great USL triumphs that the club had. In the Flavio era, that message kind of got a little lost there, right, John?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, so I mean, we're going back to good culture, so we'll
Yeah.
see. But I
I
got
mean, I think
breaking.
like he said himself, like it's all about cycles, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it's all about cycles and different times and periods, and
Exactly.
and this was
It's a
this
great
was his
comment, though.
time to go, and I think that's fine, and that's the way that sports are, right? It's in and out. There's different guys
It's
coming in
cruel,
and out,
man.
so I
Colin,
don't think there's any bad feelings here about this.
Colin says, "Thank you, Colin. The best way I can sum up my feelings is, what got us here won't get us there. I could be wrong, but we have to be brave and willing to take the next step." There you go, Colin. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
and this is
Hope
this is
you're
the
right.
beginning of that change.
No, thank you to Victor. Great comments, by the way. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, I mean, you're completely right. And Colin and Victor are completely right. Same with Carlos. So I have breaking news. So
Please.
let me go ahead and uh, it's hard not to look for that stuff. Hold on. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Here's the breaking news sound.
All right. According to sources, Wednesday night, you guys have to go sleep a little early, have early dinner, go to bed,
Mhm.
sleep your 10 hours, wake up, go to work. Because Thursday, per sources, there's
Mm,
going to be a meeting in the club with the players. They have been who has called this meeting? The management, and the players are going to be meeting with the management and Oscar Pareja. Therefore, make your assumptions right there.
okay.
The management will meet, the front office management will meet with the team and Oscar Pareja to discuss what's next. There's going to be talks of renewals. There's going to also be talks of tough moments, more than likely.
Yep.
But we're going to know more by Thursday of this week.
Okay. So it
And then
seems like that's the time when we'll kind of know both everything about this. That there's always that moment of like, okay, we're gonna find out who's here next year,
all,
who's not.
all
Some of
that
the players might know already. Some of them might not.
now there are some players that some decisions, like I said, some analysis, some thought, has to be taken into these decisions. Obviously, for what I know is that they're meeting with the whole team, like including the Guskys, the Taifis, the Freemans. Every single person in the team will be in this meeting, sporting wise, assistant coaches, everybody. Now, it's led by the front office with Oscar Pareja. Oscar Pareja is going to lead the meeting, per my sources.
Okay.
So now, um, again, we'll see what happens, but it is what I've been told. I know Mike Ramajo had a graph for, and I want to say hello to Mike. I'm gonna
Mm,
take the roster profile so we can kind of look into the team. I know that some of the contracts that are kind of expiring and stuff like that. Changes are definitely coming.
yeah.
It might not be the changes that the fans so desperately want. Again, it's mainly the club's decision more than likely, but it could be. But look, we have Luis
Yeah.
Muriel with contract. A lot of these TAM players, like the Galese decision, we will know probably by Thursday. They're probably going to be having a discussion with him more than likely. So
Yeah.
all those decisions starting Thursday, there's going to be a lot of negotiations coming. More than likely, the week after that, maybe we're going to know
Yeah.
officially what's happening.
I mean, the option years, of course, is important because a lot of these players we have option years. So this is like we said on Thursday. Like I don't know if they've already. Some of these will know already, right? Like I can't imagine Martin Ojeda doesn't know that he's not going to be here next year. Like he
Right.
surely he's got option years for 26 and 27. I don't think there's a question around him. I think it's more a case for definitely like Cesar, for example. He's one foot
Galese,
out the door. And he has a 2025 and his contract with no extension option. Wilder, Pedro, same thing. Kyle Smith, same thing. He was just on a 1 year. So we'll have to see, what happens. But some of these players will just immediately the club will have told them already, we're going to roll you into 26. You don't need to worry about it. But I think there's a lot that are probably still concerned or don't know, or maybe they do know and they're just not allowed to release that information. Often when players get told something, they're quick to put it out on social media. There's not like, it's sort of like once you let it go. So maybe that's why on Thursday we'll kind of start to see a lot of this news sort of come out. Who's
Yeah.
on their way, who's going to be here, who's not going to be here.
I have other info per sources again. And I'm saying it right now. So in case anybody from Peru may be watching, he ain't going back to Peru. And I know this for really good sources. Like him and Wilder.
Yeah.
If it doesn't pan out with Orlando, they're going to be looking for work within the MLS.
Well, and that's the beauty of MLS for them, is like they will be then put on the roster,
Correct.
the waiver wires, so someone else can pick them back up before they're even technically out of contract, right? They'll have that option to be shopped around the league.
Yep. So
similar to Muzzi, it's sort of like, I think about DC as the example, but there's plenty of teams out there, Luis, that are struggling that could happily snap up a Wilder or a Pedro if we let them go. Which I'm not against. I'm not saying we should keep them 100%. I think similar to, like I said before, with eras and times, I think that kind of the period for some of these players in the club has come to an end, and it's going to be interesting to see who is here next year and who's not.
Yeah, I'm just like, I agree with you. I think, I've talked to other colleagues today about this situation with Wilder and Pedro. Obviously, they're really well sought after. I think Wilder has a high chance to stay with a cheaper deal, at least for a season plus option.
Yeah.
And I think Pedro, for sure, that's going to be the big conversation. He wants to stay in Orlando per sources. He loves it here. But again, it has to make sense for the club as well. So again, discussions are going to happen on Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. But he ain't going to Peru. Now, another thing is, seeing a lot of, volatility sometimes and passion, being thrown out, again, it could happen, like it could not happen. If Pedro and Wilder leave, or even Oscar leaves and parts ways, and Muriel goes to another team in the MLS, picks up his option or whatever, there is a chance that, again, it's a possibility they could succeed. And that's what I was telling my one of my colleagues from Peru. I was like, there's a possibility that they may succeed and win a title too, and that doesn't mean that they just didn't want to feel like playing in Orlando. I just think, and I know that I'm going to read that, and I know I'm going to listen to that coming from some people, and it just tarnishes the good legacy that those players that might be leaving left the club. You know what I mean? I do feel like passionately about that. I think, if they decide to go, it would be definitely something for the better. And, it's a job in the end, right? I mean, you're not going to just go get a new job to fail. You're going to want to win something, right? So, but it is what it is. I just think changes are going to be coming, and they're definitely, started, so
yes,
we'll
indeed.
We'll see how that goes.
I want to say thank you to everyone who is here on our impromptu live. As we are now in the off season, whenever any kind of big news happens, we will be there. So look out for us on Thursday. Most likely we'll be potting again then, if there's going to be, as Luis says, big announcements coming out on Thursday potentially. I don't know if that's going to be shared with us, but definitely some changes are coming, and we want to be there whenever it happens, so you guys can come and join, and we'll discuss it all and talk and see what the off season brings. Thank you to everybody who is here today. If you've not already done so, please go ahead and watch our video we put out earlier today. We recorded with Orlando City UK's Taylor Williams, who is a friend of ours every year. We do a preview prediction. We did this earlier in the season of what was going to happen this year, and on that one we kind of wrapped it up earlier today talking about what actually happened and look at our player of the year, our defender of the year, all those awards, etc. So go check out that video if you're looking for more content from Loud and Proud Orlando this week. Like I said, we might be back on Thursday, depending on if more news comes out. If not, we'll definitely be here next Monday. You can always follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads, all those places at LPO_podcast. You can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and drop us a rating, preferably 5 stars. If you think we're worth that, because it helps the old algorithm. And let your friends know about Loud and Proud Orlando. Let them know this is the place to be. Talk everything Orlando City. Luis, I almost find like the off season more exciting sometimes than the actual season. I don't know. Like it's just this anticipation of what's going to happen. What will Orlando City look like in 2026? So many questions. Right now, we just wait. And
we just gotta wait. We just gotta wait, and there's gonna be a lot of rumors coming. A lot is gonna be fake. A lot is gonna be probably for real. We're gonna try to give you the most accurate reporting, even if it's like fake something. We're gonna put it out because we think that it's you guys want to know. But yeah, it's coming. It is fun. It's also fun to see how Marion's season is going to be 2026. How Nico Rodriguez season is going to be. How Tyrese Spicer is going to look like next year. I think that's intriguing. And another thing I do want to say before we go, it's time to open up the wallet a little more. I think Orlando needs that face again. We need some attacking third power there, something that's going to complement Pasalic and Ojeda. We need a really good defender if they decide to, Jansen decides to go, or Rodri for that matter. We need some more. Look what Mueller did to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Vancouver is very similar to what we have.
Yes, indeed. Of course, like you said, we've got some pieces. Let's build on that, go into the off season, see what it brings. And then, 2026 hopefully will be a better year. Thank you to all of you who are here today. We appreciate all of you. And as always, vamos Orlando.
Vamos Orlando. Have a good one, guys.